Yeah, look, so homicide rates, we started recording homicides. Like if you were to do a FOIA or a public records request, FOIA request, give me all the homicides for the history of Miami from beginning to end.
Yeah.
We started in 1946. That year we had 32.
Okay.
The worst year was 220 in 1980. Last year we had 27. Our best year on record was 24. And this year, I gotta knock on wood. We're on pace to beat the 24.
Wow.
So if we have as good a second half of the year as we had last year, we will beat the 24.
Yeah.
I don't know if we will because we had
which will basically be the best, the lowest
safest
homicide
year in history. The safest year in recorded history. I mean, imagine. So that's that.
Yeah.
Homelessness, we had in our last census 546 unsheltered homeless.
547.
546, which is an 11-year low.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
we want to be the first major metropolis to have zero.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
It's incredible.
Our goal is, we call it functional zero. I've done 2 galas in the last 2 years to raise money for homelessness.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll have an opportunity to have a third next year. But it's been an exciting journey.
Yeah.
But I think, I always tell people, look, that contribute to the gala. I said, look, this is not just about the substantive humanitarian initiative, right? To help people that are vulnerable and that are struggling and that need our help and our compassion and our love. It is part of that. But the other part of it is it's part of our brand.
Yeah.
Right? We have a brand. We should have a brand
healthy,
of taking care of people.
Safe.
We're happy, we're healthy, we're safe. And we don't have homeless because we take care of them. Right? So not every city can say that. And that is a brand differentiator from even places like Austin. And again, nothing against Austin. I'm just saying, like, using that as an example.
Yeah.
We had a great conversation with San Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
But 9,000 homeless, right?
Like Portland, Oregon, I think has a lot of homelessness.
I mean,
right?
look, it's San Francisco, right? You name
I went
it.
to Portland. They're 23-year-old homeless. I'm just like, it's sad.
And they had areas that were like taken over, like that were like
it's crazy. But with Miami,
semi-autonomous areas, which is crazy.
In Miami, you've got happy, healthy,
happiest
employed.
city in the world, happiest city in the world. Happiest city in America, healthiest city in America, lowest unemployment in America. And so people say, well, why is your homicide rate so low? I said, turns out if you're happy, you're healthy, and you're working,
you're good. You just want to get, go
so
by your days.
we lean a lot into the health brand. I do a lot of stuff on social, as you know, on working out. It's fun for me, part of it. Honestly, I like to create content that's fun. And I think the other part of it is, I would say of all the content that we produce, it is the one I get the most reaction from, and the most positive. Like people telling me on the street, you got your haters, of course, people that are complaining about it. But like everything you do, you're gonna have your bots and your whatever. But it's the thing when most people would stop me in the street and say, "Hey, man, I'm really inspired by what you do. It's cool if you find the time to work out. We can all find the time to work out. Have a family with 2 kids."
I just had a 1-hour conversation with a bunch of interns and people at a school, and I told them, I'm like, what advice would you give? And I'm like, work out. Like all of you, if you're not sweating every day or every other day, like trust me, working out will get you momentum to keep going, and like things will just flourish. You'll feel better, you'll do better, like
100%.
relationships will flourish.
Eat, sleep, workout.
And the funniest thing is, like, half the people reached out to me after my conversation with them yesterday, and they were like, love what you said about working out, love it. I'm like, it like strikes a tone with people. At the end of the day, we're animals. We need a sweat, we need sun, we need food.
Yeah, we're an organism, right? And so we need things that help. So what I tell people all the time is, look, you can have a nice car, you can have a nice house, you can have nice things, but the engine that gives you the opportunity to have all those things is you. And we focus on the thing, and we don't focus on the thing that produces the thing.
Right? Actually.
And that's my point is if we probably—
the source.
Right. If we probably dedicate a little bit more of our revenue and our investment in ourself, our health, our wellness, our energy, this thing that we get, we're going to be able to get more of that.
And it's not only physical, it's spiritual, it's emotional,
100%.
like all these things.
And it's relationships. Listen, if you're in a good mood, you're going to treat your spouse better. You're going to treat your friends better.
And then she's going to treat her better, your kids better.
100%. So
the whole thing.
You're going to treat your employees better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be a better leader. Right? Because we're going, man, this guy's energetic. He's in a good mood. Why is he,
Yeah. So I want to touch on, just one thing. I've now met people that live here that are from France, Turkey, Canada, Germany, like all over the world. And I really know that we're like onto something that is like sticking when all these people from all over the world are like, this place is the best. Like, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I'm this. And I'm just like, if the guy from France and Turkey and, the Middle East and South America are all saying that, like, I don't have to necessarily live in those places. to understand that it's pretty good here.
Well, that's part of it. I think the other part of it is you have people that can live anywhere that are also living here.
Right.
Jeff Bezos, Tom Brady, Lionel Messi, Ken Griffin. I mean, these are guys that they've done the analysis of how do they invest their most precious ingredient, which is their time.
Their time.
Right? Because
and where do I want to be?
For Jeff Bezos, if he's worth $200 billion, what is it to be worth $201 billion?
Yeah.
Right? What does a $1 billion do for him?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, diminishing marginal returns.
Yeah, it just literally does nothing for the guy, right? Like it literally does not change his life one iota.
Yeah.
So what he's investing now is not his money or whatever. He's doing things that are, I'm sure, and I've spent a little time with him, but that make him passionate, that drive him passion-wise, and that allow him to get the most out of his life. That's it. So the fact that person has decided Miami is the place where I can do that, to me, that's the biggest validation, use case validation.
Yeah. We're doing something right.
When you're talking about like who gets the credit, it's not about credit for me so much. I think everybody gets the credit. I think government is playing its role. I'm playing my role as a leader, marketing the city, projecting confidence, running the city well. Then, the private sector is doing its job by building the city, by building great product, that looks good. We give a lot of the private sector developers a right to maintain so that we don't take the maintenance risk. They do the maintenance risk and they have a reason to do it.
Right.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah, we're trying, we're iterating.
But even from I was with the San Diego homeless conglomeration, and we're talking about how compassionate the city is. From the Homeless Trust to Hermanos de la Calle, to Camilla's house, to Christie's house, to Lotus House. All of these organizations that are filling these gaps to make sure that nobody slips through the cracks and is not taken care of.
Right.
So we don't give ourselves enough credit for that. Like the reason why we're such a great city is because we have great people.
Right. And everyone's trying, everyone's passionate.
100%.
They want to make it work.
Give Miami Foundation. I mean, we have these great institutions. And are we perfect? No, nobody's perfect. But I think we're pretty good in
doing that 1% better every day. Every day. Over 365 days, it's a real 100%, thing.
Yep.
I have a bunch of clients that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and they've told me since they moved to Miami, they don't fly as much. They don't they're just like I'm just home. Like
where I gotta go? Exactly.
Yeah, I want to.